Hello everyone, hello there percentiles, it's your boy 100%, and this here is what I like to call 100% loading. As a Christian, I recognize that I'm not perfect yet, and that every single day and every single time is an opportunity for God to mold me into perfection, and that's why I call this session 100% loading. We are becoming more perfect each and every single time. And this session is going to involve me speaking about Bible verses that I've stumbled upon that I feel can also help you out there become more perfect, become 100%. Today, I want us to be looking at a Bible verse, a beautiful Bible verse in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 11. I would advise you to read it in the Good News translation and also check it out in the Message version. The Good News translation reads that when we are punished, it seems to us at the time something to make us sad, not glad. Later, however, those who have been disciplined by such punishment reap the peaceful reward of a righteous life. No one likes being told off or being punished or being disciplined, for that matter. It's a very uncomfortable feeling. It's one of those moments that when it's done to you, you don't feel 100%. You feel very down. You feel like, how dare you? Do you know who I am? Kind of moments. And especially when you're a child, you don't really like being told that you've done something wrong or you should go and apologize. That always sucks. But as you grow up, you realize that the times whereby you were disciplined, the times whereby you were scolded, any of those things, it was actually to make you a better person. Now, I've come to understand that punishment is not to just, it's not out of wickedness. Punishment is really for rehabilitation. It's supposed to make you, better. And in this Bible verse, we are told that sometimes we're going to find ourselves in situations, and those situations are uncomfortable situations, but they are not uncomfortable for just the sake of being uncomfortable. They are not uncomfortable for the sake of just pulling you and pushing you down. They are for you to become better than you currently are. A very good example are the stories of Joseph and that of David. Joseph was a child who was loved by his father, Jacob, and from an early age, he had dreams that he was going to become this amazing, great person. And his brothers didn't really check that out so much, to the point whereby he was thrown in a well, he was sold off as a slave, and he ended up being a worker. You could call it a houseboy or glorified houseboy in the house of Potiphar. His wife wanted to sleep with him and then later accused him that he tried to rape him. You know how that story goes. Joseph, for a long time, we're talking about years upon years, from like a teenage kid to a man, was in like the worst moments of his life. I don't know if any of us have even ever been in that situation. The same thing goes for David. David was a shepherd boy. This is someone who was one of the youngest in his family, and say, hey, go take care of the sheep. You go there to the bushes and do your thing. And as he's doing his thing, he comes against animals, wild animals, and he fights them off. But nobody ever for once thinks that this boy is ever going to become the king. Now, when that promise is given and when he is anointed as the next king, he goes through very, very, very difficult moments. Yes, in the beginning, he fights against Goliath. He's able to win by the help of the Holy Spirit. He's able to do all these wonderful things. Saul comes to love him. But then Saul begins to hunt him. And that's a very uncomfortable feeling. Deep in your heart, you're supposed to be the king of Israel, but you are going through these difficult moments. He struggles with his decision making, and if the Lord wasn't there, we can only tell what would have happened to David. There are moments whereby David came close to even killing Saul, but he chose not to. There were many difficult times that he was going to, and yet this was someone who was supposed to be king. Why was he going through that? The Bible verse Hebrews chapter 12 verse 11 tells us that sometimes we are all going to go through these things. And it is for our own good. If you read the Message version actually summarizes it in modern language from verses 4 to 11 and brings us back to the moment that, when you're a parent and you are taking care of your child, you're sometimes going to have to discipline them. Sometimes you're going to beat them. Sometimes you're going to shout at them. And you do this because you want them to grow up and become respected people in society. You want them to become great people. You want them to learn things. It's about discipline. Once we discipline ourselves and we understand that, yes, this thing is being done to me for me to grow, and once that clicks and we get it, we end up becoming better people, in society. Yes, sometimes we don't get it. Sometimes we're in this situation and why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here? Why can't I just progress? And this is the time where I feel one should be listening to God. One should be listening to the Holy Spirit. Why am I actually in this situation? Why has COVID-19 come? Why is my business not doing well? Why do I seem to be struggling? Are there talents within me that I need to activate? Are you listening to the Holy Spirit? Have you asked God for help? Are you searching within yourself? Are you making an attempt? We have to figure these moments out. But mind you, it's these uncomfortable situations are things that we have to do to become better individuals. This is us becoming our better self. If that doesn't happen, when the opportunity comes and you are not prepared, you will fail. There are a lot of people who have hit the jackpot and made $1 million overnight lottery. You can check this out on the internet. A good number of them, because they don't know and they don't have good financial management, they squander all that money. It's nice to have $1 million, but if you do not know what you're doing with it, it could all vanish in a second. And this all goes back to the point of discipline. If you want to become that great person in life, you're going to have to go through uncomfortable things. Jesus went through uncomfortable period and sacrificed himself for us in order for us to experience this wonderful gift of life and salvation. What are you going to sacrifice in order for you to become that better self, that better person, that 100% person? What are you going to sacrifice? Are you going to sacrifice time? Are you going to get rid of this procrastination? Are you going to start looking into yourself? Are you going to stop feeling sorry for yourself? You are the only one who knows the real answers. But understand that God doesn't put us in situations for us to just be uncomfortable. There's a reason for that. If you look in the Bible, there are many people who went through these times. And every single time, they came through better. There is no reward without sacrifice. Once you understand these things, ladies and gentlemen, I feel that we all become better individuals. So what is it that needs discipline in your life? Is it your prayer life? Is it financial management? Is it your business? Marriage, relationships, parenting? Whatever it is, trust me, the answers are there. You just have to put it in front of God and be sensitive and listen to the Holy Spirit. And trust me, you find it. I'll come again at you probably tomorrow with another version of 100% Loading. Remember, keep it 100. We out.